Hey everybody, another Course in Miracles video. This time I'm gonna walk up the hill, and Sue Ann Okerwall over here, like I said, Course in Miracles video, and I'm gonna do the script is written and talk about that while I'm out here walking. I said yesterday that I would do that particular topic. Now, I got to get it from the workbook lesson, and I'm terrible at memorizing things. So I wrote it down here so I can read it while I walk. It's a workbook lesson 158. And within there, so you're going to have to figure out which paragraph it is. So it's not right at the beginning, but it says, the script is written. When experience will come to end your doubting has been set. For we but see the journey from the point at which it ended, looking back on it, imagining we make it once again. Oh shoot, I can't read my own writing. Reviewing mentally that which has gone by. So let me do that again. The script is written. When experience will come to end your doubting has been set. For we but see the journey from the point at which it ended, looking back on it, imagining we make it once again, reviewing mentally that which has gone by. So, I talk a lot about the script is written, and so a lot of that just has to be taken with a grain of salt, taken as like, okay, maybe I can understand that at first, until you begin to have the experiences of forgiveness where you're outside time and space. So imagine if you find your right mind and you're outside of time and space, well then what the heck is going on, right? What am I seeing? Why am I a body walking up a hill, right? So I remember when I first started talking on Course in Miracle Facebook pages that I was kind of hearing about these three lines. And the first one was, ideas leave not their source. And that these three lines really hung together. So ideas leave not their source. So that means that our mind, that means that we as the one Son of God has not left the mind of God, because ideas can't leave their source. So that means that we couldn't leave to go out and be in a world or make a world or have a body. So then the next line, there is no world, fits in with that. But then, of course, like I said, we all ask, what are we seeing? And what we're seeing is the script is written. So I read you that part about how the script is written, and that it is all completely done. So another way to look at this is that when we had this tiny mad idea, that it was just a split second that actually never happened. But let's pretend, and that's what we did. We pretended as if it could happen. So we have that tiny second where the entire universe of all time and space happened all at once. So it's not evolving now. There aren't decisions being made right now. There isn't anything that can change in it right now. It is all completely done. So I used to wonder, why is it completely done? Why isn't it evolving? And the idea that came to me was that to us, as being like a tiny piece of God, as if it broke off, would God do anything halfway or whole? Would he be striving and changing? No, it's all completely done and whole all at once. So that is what this idea is that we made this thing complete and whole. Now we're at the end, like those lines were saying in 158. Now we're at the end, and we are reviewing mentally that which has gone by. So you could see there's nothing that can be changed. All decisions are already in it. So, you when you're outside of time and space and you find your right mind, you realize that this world just keeps on ticking along. It keeps on going. birds are still singing, skies are still happening, there's still roads, and the world just keeps on going. This has already been filmed. I'm filming this thing, but it's already been really filmed, right? So I couldn't not make this video. If I didn't want to make it, there would be no way. It's already been done, so it's made. And if I wanted to make it, but it wasn't on there, on the script, then I couldn't make that either. Or, you know what I mean? Either way, what I'm trying to say is you can't do something that isn't there, and you can't stop something that is there. Would be probably a good way of putting it. And so we stopped trying to fix the world. As we know, the Course is never about behavior, and never about a world, and never about a body. So it says, there is no world, puts an exclamation point after that, one of the few exclamation points in the Course. And then it also has, I am not a body, the most said line in the entire book. So it is not goofing around about that. I remember Ken, and I think it actually says it, Ken Wapnick, and I think it actually says it in the text as well, that you have to take all of this course or none at all. So, usually what happens is, as a character in the script, we have a worldview, we have a set of beliefs that we arrive with. And in this seeming evolving nature of things, it is as if we bring that with us, and then we pick out certain lines of the Course that fit with that. This is just something that's happened in everything from the Bible to Buddhism. Everything is always, set in that human viewpoint, the ego viewpoint. In fact, I rarely use the word ego too much anymore, because most people think that they are them, and then sometimes the ego comes upon them, as if like they're spiritual, and then suddenly something bad happens to them, which is like Satan almost getting them, right? And if I call it the character, it's kind of maybe more descriptive, because we never really leave the character. You will know when you do, because you're completely lifted out of every scenario. Like I said, you're completely outside of time and space. So it will be completely different, and you will know it, right? So let's see. So where was I with the script is written? So you will see yourself as if two things are going on. So often people ask me, well, how can you make a video if there's an awareness of the mind being in outside time and space, like all the time, and as if you're holding on to that and living there and abiding there, like it says, my mind rests in God. So how is it that then you have a personality, and you can type in Course of Miracles groups, and you could write different things, and like, who's doing that? Well, it is this character, like I said, this character that is on the script. So I often tell people how that when we wrote it, it was as if we wrote an entrance, a middle, and an exit. And so you will see those exiting, and you will see yourself exiting, and the behaviors will look different. Not because the person changed the behavior, they're already knowing that they're not here, right? So, but it will show as if that had evolved to that, right? So, and that is what you're seeing. Although most of the time, I should do a video on that, about how that we can walk this world. It look like we're in it, but we're not of it, and that those that know the way will recognize us, and those that don't will think that we are the way that we were before, as they are now. That's definitely paraphrased and put in like a little different order, but that's sometimes good to sort of wake up these lines. And what that means is that everybody will be seeing from their viewpoint. So if you're looking at everything from the character, from the ego, everything will look one way. And if you look at from the Holy Spirit, everything will look another way. Course says that over and over again, right? So it is actually something like where you can read back on the Course both ways and see completely different things. Anyway, I think I just hit 10 minutes and I'm going to finish off my walk and upload this video. Talk to you later.